Oh, hey, we're
Here we go.
starting.
Oops.
I forgot to
live?
give you the countdown. Yes.
I think
Are we just live right now?
Yeah, we're live. We're live.
Oh, hey everybody! Good thing I didn't say any bad words. Welcome to This Is Difficult podcast. Feels like we're not live. We're live though. Yeah.
We're definitely
Okay.
live.
We're
I
definitely
forgot to
live.
give you the
Yeah.
countdown. That is totally my
This is
bad.
why this needs to be an audio file. I feel
Well,
like.
it's also why we need to just be more consistent with having our
Yeah.
podcast. We took all this time off, and I'm like, I forgot how to stream.
Definitely.
Paul forgot how to upload too. We're like
I
3
did,
episodes
yeah.
behind.
Just actually
Whoops.
2. I went through and looked. We're only 2, missing 2. But I have them clipped. I just need to upload them.
Probably do
All that to say, welcome to This Is Difficult, the podcast, everyone. Feels good to say again, the renowned podcast. I can't think of anything funny to say. Video game podcast. We talk about bullshit. I mean, video games. And I am your co-host, Lord Yeshua. Josh and the Fleshua. God damn it! I just want to do it one
It
more
happened.
time.
It happened.
every time.
We know it was
every
coming.
time.
Yeah, exactly. We're on Paul's channel. It's Ryugami-san and the Fleshua. Wait. And then, we got Zach over there. It's another letdown, the Fleshua. And I can't think straight. We all had a long day, so I know I just got off work like an hour ago. But we're powering through. We missed you guys. Here to talk about some video games and irreverence and just entertain you on your Sunday evening. Let's kick it off to Paul. See what he has in store for us. What do we got going on?
Well, let's just catch up, boys. We had, the whole holidays. I know we're going to talk extensively about that later, but just how have you been? What have you been up to? What games have you been playing? The whole jam. Zach, why don't we start with you, man?
What you got?
Well, I got sick second half of the school vacation, so I've been in quarantine for 10 days.
10 days?
My wife and daughter can finally safely come home tomorrow. This is according to my cousin's husband, who happens to be the associate professor of immunology at Dartmouth College. He's kind of calling all the shots here. He's the one person in this whole mess that I trust.
So you had 10 days with the house to yourself?
I did, which
Sounds
meant
awesome.
okay. So on paper, that's exactly correct, but in reality, like,
It gets boring.
it gets boring.
Yeah, I was laid off once, and I got a fat severance check, which was dope, and I had a job lined up. So I basically had 2 months off to myself. And the first week or 2 were kind of rad, but then it got just like cripplingly boring, and I was like, how do people not occupy themselves?
Right.
I couldn't be jobless just because I'd be too bored.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So we're back in school, so that helped. 3 days this week. I was it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and 2 of those days I was skating because it's winter program season, which is awesome. Although I'll tell you, skating with a mask on is the worst.
It's awful.
It's just a mess of snot and sweat, and it stinks.
Delicious.
Indoor or outdoor?
Indoor. School rules. I wasn't going to argue with it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but then I'd come home and I'd just be like, I guess I'm going to play Pokemon.
Knew it.
But, like, tons of Pokemon.
So much.
Like I'm, finishing up. I'm approaching the last gym in Violet.
Oh, dang.
We haven't even really talked about like our playthroughs of this because we haven't been on at all.
Yeah, we'll get there in a minute.
Yeah,
And I finished Pokemon Green. I did
it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I could not read a word of it. I was relying very heavily on Google Translate and a lot of dumb luck. But my memorization skills carried me through, and I have defeated the Elite Four and your rival, whoever the hell that is. I just entered some random characters. I have no idea what his name actually is.
Blue.
And I did not bother with Mewtwo because I was like, whatever. It's trivial at that point. But yeah, it's done. That challenge is over, and my Game Boy has laid idle since. Although that's not to say the rest of my Game
Blue Oak
Boys
is his name in green.
the rest of my Game Boys have not laid idle. I have a pile of them over here. now
That's
because
awesome.
I have started a Game Boy restoration service. That's been sort of my yeah.
I might send you a couple, honestly, because
Please do.
there's ones that I want to do and maybe try myself, but also I've got zero experience or confidence in soldering, and the soldering that for the mods that I've looked at is super minimal, but still, I don't
But you
know. I
want to
don't
do it right.
necessarily
Like
want to
it's
fuck it up.
yeah, exactly.
So
It's one of those things that I'm oddly confident about and probably
yeah.
will end up being to my detriment, but
because I've got my Game Boy Color I'd like to mod, and I've got 2 DMGs. One of them actually is already modded, but I don't like the mod on it.
Oh, okay.
And also the lens pops off, so I'd like to just get a new lens for it, a better lens.
Yeah, that's the problem with this one.
And then the other one is like pretty, like very functional, just original DMG, but it's kind of old and in gnarly shape. Like people drew on it and stuff. So
this one came to me covered in stickers and Scotch tape, and it looks brand new now.
Damn.
It was like 2 hours of elbow grease. So I guess as a way of shamelessly self-promoting, $24 an hour plus parts is what I'm charging, and
it's awesome.
So far been
you just made $48 just for cleaning that shit.
Exactly. Well, so this was actually I got this DMG as part of a payment for the Black SP that I'm working on. This is going to be a Black
SP that I'd love to get fixed up too.
With red, it's going to have red buttons.
Nice.
And it's going to look really sick. I'm very excited about it.
Dude, my very first SP that I had was black, and I loved it. And my ex-girlfriend ripped it in half while we were arguing.
Oh, I would kill her.
That's horrible.
It was kind of my fault. Like we were in the middle of an argument, and we lived in we lived in a studio apartment, and so there was nowhere for me to go. And so for like, I was trying to like just exit the conversation, and again, there's nowhere for me to go. Like we're in a studio apartment, so I just like plop down on the futon and start playing my my SP.
Oh no!
And she just grabs it out of my hand and rips it in half and tosses it across the room. And I was like, oh well. I guess I had that coming.
That's my only issue.
She was a terrible person. I'm not letting her off the hook for that, but it was kind of
she sounds like shit. I will say that's my only issue with the SP is that it's like 2 pieces.
So one of the things that I'm working on, Josh, is a hingeless. I think I can 3D print a hingeless.
What?
Dude, there's some really, really cool hingeless mods for SPs. There's like really cool ones that like
steel.
Yeah, those are awesome. They're expensive.
If you can 3D print, you can make any shape you want.
Literally. Yeah, so my ultimate goal, and I think it is doable, but I need to figure out like the logistics and stuff. I want to take a DMG shell and put a Game Boy Color inside it, or better yet, a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance, dude.
Just like put the shoulder buttons just like right here and here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
So I don't know. That's a pipe dream.
I would want like grooves.
As much as I love this, like, because this is my original Game Boy Advance I got in Japan. This is modded. I modded this one myself. I love it. But, I like the original like Game Boy like this direction better for some reason.
Yeah,
I just always have, and that's why I love the SP because it felt kind of more like an original Game Boy. I think actually like the best Game Boy form factor that they've ever put out is the Game Boy Color, which is why I want to.
I agree.
Do my Game Boy.
So now I'm kind of like poking around at thrift stores and stuff like that. I've got operatives working in 4 different parts of the country trying to find me deals on crappy Game Boys that I can fix up. My goal is to not pay more than $20 per, which is reasonably attainable at thrift stores and flea markets and things.
Yeah, get some good
eBay prices are a little bit higher than that because people on eBay tend to know what they've got. But
yeah, but you can sometimes lucky, get like donor Game Boys on eBay pretty cheap sometimes, like ones with broken screens and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and there's a seller from Japan that I've had my eye on his listings.
There's a company, so actually you may have seen this because I've sent you videos from this guy a bunch of times, but there's a guy that I watch that does Game Boy restoration, and he uses a company that will basically collect the items that you buy through like Japanese eBay and Yahoo auctions and things like that, and then ship them all to you in one box.
Yeah.
And
wow.
like it dramatically saves on shipping if you're buying like multiple items and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's
But
kind
at the
of
moment, I'm pretty well stocked. I mean, one of these SPs will remain mine. I have my DMG out in the other room. I'm still deciding what I want to do with this Game Boy
I'll
Pocket.
probably send you my SP because I hate my SP.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
It's a piece of junk.
Well, send it my way.
Yeah.
We'll make it good again. Make Game Boy good again.
Damn, dude. What if that became like your main business and you quit teaching?
Honestly, I don't have any desire for it to be my main. Like,
Right.
I love teaching so much, but it is a very potentially
Lucrative hobby.
manageable and lucrative hobby. It's something I can do while like Katie's feeding the baby or something like that. I can just, work a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of the mods don't require my soldering iron. So, anything I'd have to solder, I'd have to, carve out time for. But if it's just a drop in, it's trivial.
Yeah.
Or cleaning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the drop-in mods are cool, but sometimes like mine, I had to finagle to get it to fit right. And
yeah, the pocket that I did for my niece, I had to like heavily modify the case. Like the whole battery box is shredded.
So mine, I didn't have to modify the case, and it came with spacers for the screen, but the spacers didn't quite line up exactly right, and so I had to open the goddamn thing up like 4 or 5 times to just scooch it to the right place, because like there'd always be like it'd be either too low or too high or a little bit to the left, And I finally think I got it in the right spot. So
nice. So yeah, mostly just trying to set up. That's been my last couple of weeks, trying to set up that process. Nice. And I did. My wife's coworker gave me one of the SPs and just a pile of games, including a never played Pokemon.
What?
Never played.
That's insane.
Yep, I tested the save battery. As never played. I tested the save battery.
Shame on that person.
It's as if it were brand new.
Well, you know what you have to do is you need to go and get Mew from the Nugget Bridge and then play the game
should
out.
Or just copy my Pokemon over from my blue version.
Yeah, but it's fun to catch one in the wild, man. Come on. That's fun. Yeah. That's actually probably my most exciting moment in gaming as a child was getting Mew. We found a Game Genie code that allowed you to catch him like west of Cerulean City or something like that in a field. And like when one popped up in the wild, like I started sweating and shaking and like I was just so excited. And
I got mine. So I got Mew on the blue version through the MIT hack or MIT glitch, which is flying away from a trainer. And then there's a random Ditto that you have to find on Victory Road. And then you fly back to wherever the location was that you flew away from the trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And then a Mew will appear.
There's the Nugget Bridge one is real similar. You run into someone on Nugget Bridge and then you fly away. And then you go back, and your first encounter is a Mew, and that's
exactly how it works.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
It was discovered by some MIT students.
Yeah, it's super cool and very fun and exciting. You
can actually get all 151 that way.
Yeah, because it's basically just it's basically
inputting
a hexadecimal code. Just you're kind of just inputting that data without knowing you're doing it really, or like seeing the actual hex.
It's like that Ocarina of Time, like
it's literally like doing like a Game Genie code without a Game Genie.
Exactly. That's pretty much exactly what it is.
So
it's amazing.
But yeah, other than that, I beat Mega Man 7. Started Pokemon Violet. Yep, I mentioned. Okay, most of the way through Pokemon Violet.
I'm taking my time.
Me too, and I'm over 100 hours.
I'm not.
Well, I mean, I just come home and play it because what the hell else am I going to do? I'm in quarantine.
Yeah.
How do you see how many hours you are into a game?
On your profile.
Yeah.
Or it counts every 5. There actually is an in-game clock though in that game. Like most Pokemon games have an in-game clock.
I'm
Not
only
much
like
switching up
5
going on,
hours into this game, and that includes what I
Damn, you're still in the
streamed.
tutorial.
No, I'm way past the tutorial.
Okay.
It says played for 5 hours or more. It doesn't say specifically how much time I played on it.
Well, I've got this one freaking Tauros that has been housing every gym ever.
Tauros is buffed in this gen.
He's
He's
so
fighting
good.
now. He's a fighting type.
He's fighting type, and he's got that Zen headbutt that just gets him through anything that's
but
not.
you can actually change his like style, not his type, but like there's different styles of Tauros, and they have different moves. It's
So
weird.
Anyway,
that's been something
Josh,
else.
what have you been up to? How's your holidays? We that was quite a tangent. we
Mine,
went
a lot has been going. Yeah, we rabbit holed that shit. Mine has been a lot going on. So I moved into my own apartment again. I got my own place. I got a cat 2 days ago. What day is it? 2 days ago. Yeah. So a lot has happened. It's just been a whirlwind. My brain is like oozing out of my ears. But I have had a little time to game. It's been a lot of the move right now. Like I'm still like getting things. I realize I need another surge protector and a new controller. Like certain thing, I probably need several extension cords now and a gaming chair actually too. So there's just a lot for my setup, especially. I need a monitor now because my TV is like my secondary monitor was a TV and it's pretty much useless now, just because of how my setup is. So yeah, lots of that. I've been working a lot. But it's been good. Lots of family interactions over the holidays. That's been fun. And gaming wise, it's been a lot of playing mods with Colin, honestly. So we actually had we beat Jiggies of Time finally, which is incredible. This is basically the Ocarina of Time with Banjo overlaid on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's Banjo Engine in Ocarina of Time, basically.
So
And
cool.
the modder Mark Kirko is incredible. He's the front runner for the Banjo's backpack modding, which is basically the toolkit for modding Banjo. And he's easily the top dog. And he makes his own music and everything, and absolutely incredible. This game is amazing, except the ending, which there's an issue with Banjo mods where basically the boss is just grunty every time, and it's not even a different version of her. It's just the same fucking boss from the original game. And me and Colin basically get to the final boss every time. We're like, we're done. We don't feel like just beating the same like final boss that we beat in the normal game. So that's a little. But aside from that, like the game was really amazing. There's actually a Christmas mod that he came out with also that we haven't played yet. We kind of watched the YouTube on it, but it's like an homage to all of the years of modding for Banjo, and he made that specifically to like shout out all the other modders and stuff. And it looks really good. Aside from that, I don't even know. Oh yeah, Pokemon. What am I saying? I am over 100 hours into the game, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, although you may have already spoiled things for yourself potentially. But I don't know if you guys have looked anything up. But I've beaten the Elite Four. At this point, I've beaten the Elite Four and the Champion, and I am just like kind of dicking around now and building a competitive team, and it's insane. I will say it's the easiest game to build competitive Pokemon for without cheating that has yet to come. Like in Sword and Shield, I was literally cheating.
It seems like they've been doing that for the last like 3 gens.
Yeah.
It's been getting easier and easier to make.
And I actually, it's funny. I've been reading like forums to like catch up on the metagame and stuff, and like really watching competitive players so I can see where the metagame is heading. Also getting my ass kicked a lot to see where the metagame is heading. And a lot of people are complaining that it's easier. They're like the hours spent like breeding and like, grinding up these perfect Pokemon. Like, anyone can get into it now. I'm like, why is this a bad thing?
Yeah, that's not a bad thing at all. Like
I think it's great.
That's a gatekeeping
like, so sorry you
bullshit.
It's exactly.
You know.
It's like, so sorry you spent 5,000 hours getting a perfect 6 IV Ditto so you could breed perfect Pokemon, but you don't have to do that. The Makuta method or whatever they call it, where you like get a perfect Ditto, and that takes like hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
And so I'm grateful. I don't give a shit if anyone's going to cry about that. It's like really not my problem. And as someone who is a competitive Pokemon player, it's just like a huge weight off my shoulders. I don't have to cheat. I don't have to, get hacked mons or anything like that, which apparently are legal in tournaments. It's kind of ridiculous. And so, or maybe not like world tournaments, but you can play them in ranked, which is crazy.
Huh.
Yeah. So maybe when you get to like number 1, they check your team, but I'm actually not sure. Like I was doing that in Sword and Shield and no one.
Dude, I don't remember which gen it was. I think maybe like Pokemon X and Y, but you could basically there was an app that you build like basically whatever Pokemon you want in the app, and then you transfer it to a a an action replay card, and then
Oh,
transfer it on your game, and it was an untraceable mod.
that's
Like
nuts.
unless there was stupid shit you could do to make it traceable, because it was like obviously you fucking made this fake Pokemon.
Yeah.
But like there was even like, I believe there was even like a switch that you could push, or a button you could push in the application that like would restrict it to possible
Oh, that's
incarnations of that
nuts.
Pokemon, so that
I would.
it would be untraceable.
I didn't realize that's what the trainer ID was for, actually, initially, but the
Yeah.
trainer ID exists. So, literally, if necessary, I assume this isn't like world tournaments and stuff is used for. You can look up the trainer ID number and it'll be like not found. Oh, that's a fake Pokemon, like immediately. But I think there, like you're saying, are ways to make it be like feel like it's real, like in certain ways, or like give it a real ID number potentially. Like maybe it's birthed as a real Mon, so it has a real ID number, but then you create the stats. So I think there's ways around it. That being said, I think this is a really fun meta, and I'm really enjoying just building my team and playing, mostly getting my ass kicked. But it's really fun. I feel like it's very different than it used to be. So if you're into like playing Pokemon for the RPG side of it, like and like the actual like combat and whatnot, I think this is like a really good time to be a fan of that.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
but
I mean, there's a couple of like picky little things about it. Like the battle camera is garbage.
the battle
Yeah,
camera,
it's
and especially if you have
awful.
someone big,
Why
if you have a
didn't
big Pokemon, it's like the most ridiculous.
I-
why
I'm
didn't they use
constantly
the
just
same
looking at
battle
Tauros'
camera as
butthole.
Arceus? Because
Not
that
only
was
that,
awesome.
in competitive, you can't change the angle, but in the in game, you can change the angle. So it's like
Slightly,
that's a
yeah.
little bit of a saving grace. But when you're doing competitive ranked, you're literally fixed. So sometimes I'm like looking at like the side of my guy's face, and I'm like, why can't I like see my whole Pokemon? Or some of them are so big you don't even see them at all.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just a fixed view. Super
There's
weird.
a lot of weird oversteps that they did right in Arceus and just didn't bother
Yeah.
to carry over. And I'm like,
I know,
that's
like
Yeah,
especially since
okay.
they used the same engine, it's bizarre that they didn't carry over some of the things from Arceus.
Yeah. One of the
Yeah.
funniest glitches I've noticed, and honestly, I don't mind any of the glitches really, because I love old games and you're like walking through walls and shit in those. But in this one, the most ridiculous one is in the raid battles. This is more of an oversight than a glitch, I feel like. In the
I
raid
think I know where
battles,
you're going
because
with this.
well, well, maybe not, but maybe. Basically, like things don't catch up timing wise. Is that
Yep.
what you're? Yeah.
Yep.
So like the Pokemon will just be like dead all of a sudden, and you're like, oh, KO or not, or the health bar won't move, or any number of things, like because you're online, and it's one of those weird things where the timing isn't just catching up. Like I've literally like he's like sent like 10 attacks at me before I can get an attack out because
Yeah.
the timer is actually like up on my side, but the game doesn't catch up to that. Or they'll like kill him before I get a chance to even move, and like it's like 10 minutes have gone by. And I'm
That's
like,
not
why?
just
It's
not
really
just in
weird.
online either. That's in
It's
like
just
I haven't,
regular.
it's in regular too.
I also
It's like
another question I
okay.
have about the whole raid battle thing, and like kind of like one of the things they did in general. You know, the like the stupid crystal bullshit that they have
Yeah.
on. Why didn't they just use Gigantamax? It's the same thing, only they
I
don't have
actually,
chandeliers on their
it's
heads.
actually
Like those are
not. I
so
will say
stupid.
aesthetically is stupid, and the amount of time it takes to crystallize your motherfucking self and like all that.
Terrasilize or
There
whatever
are
it is.
two
Yeah.
really cool things about it that I think actually shake the meta in a humongous way. So first of all, it's really important for competitive because like the meta based itself around these type advantages and whatnot.
Yeah.
Basically,
Right.
certain Pokemon were just like
No,
incredible
I get that,
because
but
of
like
that.
you could do the same thing. They did the same thing with Gigantamax. It was the same.
But
It's the same,
but you
except
can
they've
literally
got chandeliers
can
on their head.
but you can you can
No,
completely
they still
change a
have that.
Pokemon's type. So to like completely remove disadvantages, and it's permanently Gigantamax, and you can even withdraw and send it back out, and it stays in
Oh,
that
that's
form.
cool.
That's really so.
I
It
mean,
is
they could have
one.
still done that and not put
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
And see, the
things
thing
on
about
their head.
Gigantamax was the gigantic aspect was the stupid part. And I was like, okay, it's a giant ass Pokemon. Like, why aren't they controlling the fucking world? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So that was the dumb part for me, although I did think like competitively Gigantamax was really cool. And yeah, it did change typings, I think, a lot of times. Or like Mega. What about Mega Evolutions? That
Yeah,
was
Mega
cool.
Evolutions were cool too. I thought those were cooler, but you know, I think they abandoned Mega Evolutions really quickly because they had to do so many different sprite models and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also wasn't affecting all Pokemon. So this is like where certain Pokemon had like special Gigantamax or special I already forgot, Mega Evolutions. Like some didn't. And in this one, any Pokemon, and I will, this is a mild spoiler, but you probably could have figured this out. Any Pokemon can have their Terra type changed. So throughout the game, you're able to get the shards that let you change a type. So if it says it's like a fighting type, but it's a water type, whatever, it has a fighting, you can change it to whatever type you want eventually to meet its disadvantage.
You can
or
make
to gain
Charizard
further-
a dragon type.
Exactly.
Yes.
Gang.
Yeah. Or for me, I would make it a water type.
No,
So,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
of course.
Yeah.
But like Charizard's always should have been a dragon, right?
Yeah.
But he never has.
That
been.
was the mega.
Yeah.
It was like Dark Dragon or something like crazy,
Yeah, it was
right?
sick.
It was
Dude, the Charizard
sick.
Mega Evolution's so
Yeah.
cool.
I preferred the other one that was just like Super Charizard, regular flying fire, because he like did drought and let you use Solar Beam in one hit. You're just like murdering Blastoises. I love that. I digress. Pokemon's awesome. We can talk about more about that, but I'm still enjoying my playthrough, and I know there's a lot of post game content, no spoilers on it, but I'm like not even close to done with this game, and I've already beaten it. So I think it's really cool that it just like is big. But I
Nice.
understand a lot of people have gripes with this game.
That's how I
Aside
felt
from
about
that,
Arceus, honestly. Like,
yeah, that
I
game is huge.
I beat that game and then kept playing and kept playing and kept playing. I put over 100 hours in that game. Loved it.
What I think is really cool about Arceus is that the Pokemon are canon, actually. So any new Pokemon they introduce into that are actually considered in like the living decks, basically. You know, so there's like legendaries and stuff that haven't been in any other game before. Like I can't remember, they're like Amarandus or whatever. There's like some crazy guy, like how Landorus and all those guys had one. They added a new one of those,
Mhm.
and he's like in the actual decks. These are like considered real Pokemon, even though it's not quite competitive Pokemon.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah, it's not, but it's cool because it's like the canon like origin of like,
Exactly,
Pokemon kind
yeah.
of. Yeah. I wish they went further back, honestly, but like
I think they're gonna actually. I don't know if they're gonna go further
because
back.
they did.
But
I mean, Pokemon Conquest takes place, you know, during like the freaking Warring States period in Japan, which is
Tokugawa
so
shit.
cool. Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
so
crazy,
cool. So like going back that far in a real Pokemon game, I think would be nuts.
that'd be crazy.
You know,
Yeah.
but,
So yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, and then more Banjo.
anything else you did over the holidays or anything?
Yeah,
cool shit
lots
going
of family time, and
Yeah.
moving has like really consumed like most of my life right now, and I'm still kind of setting everything up, but it's good, you know.
Yeah, it'll
City
do that.
boy. Yep.
Yeah, I let's see. Yeah, kind of the same as you guys. I played a decent amount of Pokemon, not nearly as much as you guys. Because I was playing it on stream, and that really limited the amount of time that I could play it.
I don't think I could.
And
honestly.
and that's why I stopped streaming it.
Yeah.
Is because it got to the point where it's like I really want to like do a lot of exploration and grinding and different things that just aren't fun for streaming. And I'm
Yeah.
not really a Pokatuber kind of guy. I don't do like Nuzlocke shit like that. So I don't think Pokemon streams are really my jam.
Well, I mean, there
And-
is it's kind of the curse of any kind of open world game is like you have to decide ahead of time what you're willing to stream, and in between streams you have to get to that point. So if
Yeah,
if you're
but I've
saying,
been
okay,
able to do
I'm-
like when I did like Ghost of Tsushima, and I did
True.
freaking the best game ever. What's it called?
Oh,
What,
Elden
Elden Ring?
Ring.
Elden Ring, you know, and I was able to like really do anything I wanted in those games on stream because I was able, you know. But Pokemon,
You're also
there's-
very good at Souls games, so
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
not anything you do doesn't seem like grinding, you know, or
Right.
like a chore.
That's kind of true. Yeah, that's funny you say that because I used to be so fucking bad at Souls games.
How you get better at it.
That's true. Yeah. But once you kind of figure out the formula of how to be good
Yeah.
at a Souls game, it kind of carries over. But
Now I don't think I could be bad at it. You know what I mean? Like maybe at a new one, but yeah, Elden Ring, like I feel like it's like riding a bike. It's crazy.
yeah, it's so fun.
admittedly, it does come right back. I played it briefly recently too, and I was like, oh man, I'm right back in this, right where I left off.
It's so fun, man. That game's so
It's
good.
yeah.
Let's see. I
speaking-
got. Oh, check this out.
What you got? What you got?
My brother got me this. It's the only one that I didn't
Oh.
have. It is.
Chrono
Oh
Trigger?
God, the damn. No,
You
I
can
have.
read it.
I already
Ball
have
Z.
like 3 copies of Chrono Trigger. this is because the damn thing is
You can see Goku.
well, you guys can see it, but the stream can't really see it because
Oh yeah,
damn
because it's
thing.
Is
reflecting
that
green.
Brawly?
No, so this is
No, it's-
Dragon Ball Z Hyperdimension, which is the final, and if you ask me, the best Dragon Ball Z fighting game on the Super Famicom. And it's the only one I didn't have. I've got Budokai 1, 2, and 3. And I did not have this one. So my brother got me that for Christmas, and I was super excited. And it works,
Sick.
and it's awesome. It's such a cool game. I highly recommend. There's actually a good translation of it out there. You know, if you want to like check it out, like playing it on a ROM or something like that. It doesn't emulate well though, because it's like one of the very later games that's got one of the super advanced chips in it. So, like, good luck finding an emulator that runs it well.
Yeah.
The best way to run it would be, to be honest, off a flash card on actual hardware, or if you can get a hold of the cartridge. But it's an incredible game. It's so much fun. You know, it actually came, like, they were making PlayStation games by the time this game came out. It's very
Yeah.
late in the Super Famicom life cycle. So, but it's excellent. And
Which one is it?
it's Dragon Ball Z Hyperdimension.
Sounds awesome.
It's
I'm just
so cool.
Wikipediaing it.
The graphics are gorgeous. The you know, gameplay is really good. Like, it's excellent. So very excited about that. So Adam got me that for Christmas. Like I said, been playing some Pokemon, been playing some Call of Duty. Did I play anything else? Not much really. I did get this too. Some of this is going to get keyed out as well, but this is my limited run copy of Shredder's Revenge.
Shit.
So
Yeah.
it looks like a VHS tape, right?
The box intact.
And then so
This is not a VHS tape.
It's not
So-
a VHS tape, Josh.
that
Wait,
opens up,
what?
and you got
Insane.
the you know, the regular Switch box, and then it also came with a steel case box.
That took 6 months to get to you.
Dude, it took so long to get to me.
That's
And
insane.
everyone that got like the lower tier got theirs first, and I was all jealous. I'm like, these motherfuckers. But dude, anytime I order something from Limited Run, it's like that. I just like, I should stop expecting stuff to show up soon. You know?
I mean, they never disappoint, and they take their sweet time.
Yeah. They've got some internal policies that I'm not a fan of. I don't know if I'm going to continue ordering Limited Run games. But it depends. I mean, I couldn't resist this. You know, if they
Yeah.
keep
Crazy.
putting out
How
cool
good-
shit, I
yeah.
might keep buying. You know, but I don't know.
That's
There's
cool as well.
I have my eye on them, but yeah, I don't. It'd have to be a very, very specific game for me to buy it at this point.
yeah. And that's the other thing is, like, if I want to buy a game to play it soon, don't buy from Limited Run.
No, definitely
Because-
don't. Unless you can get it for free
Yeah,
on Game
like
Pass
if
or
I
something.
was so like when we got when Shredder's Revenge came out, we all wanted to play it online, and so we all got the PC version, and then we ordered our limited run copies for Switch, because I
Yeah.
knew my limited run copy wasn't going to be here anytime fucking soon, you know.
Right.
So
But we were also very lucky that it came to Game Pass for free.
exactly. So yeah, so we
Mm.
played it on there. But yeah, if I was waiting around for this, it would have been a nightmare. So yeah, like if you ever are buying a game from them, just have the expectation that you're going to wait a very long time for it to show up.
Yeah,
which is,
I was surprised. The one that showed up the quickest was Mega Man Wily Wars.
Yeah.
Which is also getting chroma keyed out. But I mean, this one came so fast.
yeah,
And I think it's because it's a game that's existed forever, and they were just
literally
already
none of
done all the
mine.
work.
I actually think I waited longer for. I ordered the Kunio-kun collection and Kunio-kun and Double Dragon. And that took, I think, even longer than Shredder's Revenge did. In fact, I bought a house in the time that like maybe 6 months after I ordered it, and then I had to put in a change of address.
Oh yeah.
Because I ended up moving, and then freaking it still didn't come for another like 3 months. Like it
That's
took
insane.
forever. So yeah.
All that
Anyway,
to say though, how dope is this cartridge?
that's gorgeous.
Insane.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. like I said, limited runs got some internal policies that I'm not a fan of. There was a very recent controversy that really kind of bothers me a lot, and I'm not going to get into the details of that here, but they put out awesome shit.
You really do.
So
I'm curious about the controversy because I know nothing.
Look it up.
right.
But anywho, so that's pretty much all I played. Yeah, a lot of family time. Actually had one of the better family gatherings that we've had in a while. My family's very explosive.
Same.
I was gonna say bad at
You know?
gathering.
So this one was a fairly peaceful family gathering.
Well, that's good.
So but yeah, it's cool. Does anyone have any current events? Josh, I know you do.
Actually, I have two real quick. So I'll briefly mention one, and then I'll say the cool one that I actually know more about. So I don't know if any of you saw, but The Last of Us is actually getting turned into an HBO TV show.
Yeah,
I saw that
I
with
think
the kid from Game of Thrones.
That's pretty cool. They're using the original characters, which in my opinion is weird because in the second game, I mean, spoiler alert, it happens in like the first 5 minutes of the game, but like one of the main characters dies.
Yep.
And so it's like kind of like for the game fans, it's just like, you know, it's like a prequel basically. I don't know where it sets itself in time.
I think it's starting with the first game.
It's starting with the first game. So we're probably just going to get a reprint of the story for TV, which actually it could be really amazing. It could be like really, really fucking good if it's really trying to be like The Last of Us. Which was already pretty dialogue heavy.
Well, the thing is those games are just a TV show anyway, and so it's very well suited for TV. I don't care for those games really at all. I think they're not good games. The story's probably great, and that's why I think most people love them.
But now you'll watch the show and you'll be like, okay.
Sure, and I probably will, and that's fine. I'm just kind of over the zombie thing, which I realize it's different from zombies, but it kind of is the same. And
it's kind of the same.
So, you know, like...
It's The Walking Dead, basically. You know?
Exactly. And I was over that show like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5. You know,
dude, I was over that show like 10 years ago.
I read that in like 2010, the graphic novels, and when the show came out, I was like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to read,
I have the first 2 compendiums, or maybe I have the first 3 compendiums of Walking Dead.
Dude, the first,
I think we went over this a while ago.
If you have the, I think we talked about this.
We did,
the original copy of like the first one. Yeah, my sister had it, and I don't know what she did with it. It's worth like $1 million or something.
It's worth so. It's like the highest valued modern comic.
Yeah,
ever.
It's something nuts, but like, yeah. But anyway, so my other current event is not super current, but here I'll click on it real quick. Spicy Wolf, our lovely modder, gave us some info, and Colin is kind of telling me more about it. On the Poke One community page, there has been a MMO going that is a compilation where basically these modders, or I don't know how many modders are involved.
Post that in Discord.
Actually, let me post that in Discord. So this is literally just the website, and it is these people are trying to create a Pokemon game that is all the Pokemon games in one. And so I think it says here there's 3 so far in it. So I'm assuming like Blue, like the next one. I already forgot. Gold.
How are they doing the level scaling in that?
And so I honestly have no idea how that's going to work. It could just like scale to you, which would be really fucking cool. Finally, that was something I was really sad about in Violet. Not really sad, but I beat the gyms in a pretty random order just because I was exploring super randomly. And the last gym I fought was like 40 levels below me. And I was like, this is kind of
I'm kind of noticing that a little bit. Huh? In like because I've been going after the Titans because I just want to upgrade my guy as quick as I can, and I've been noticing that like the level scaling is weird because like I'll be in some places in the Pokemon there'll be, you know, manageable, but the trainers will just fucking run a train on me, and then like the gyms that I've been to, I think I've only done 2 gyms so far, but they've been so easy.
Yeah.
You know?
And so in the later games, In the later game, it gets easier, but in the beginning, you're literally gate kept from certain areas because of how difficult certain Pokemon are. Like I fought a level 75 Lucario, and I was at like level 15. I was like, this is the wrong way to go. Okay, I guess. But
Is there any like
I'm not.
screenshots of the game?
I'm not sure. Spicy gave me like an entire like vlog on the information on it. But here I can even read that if we want. It's a Pokemon MMO that is aiming to do all the gens in one game. Currently has 3. And it undoes a lot of the mistakes Nintendo does. Different mapping, different iterations of the regions. It sounds like this is one guy kind of giving this lowdown here. And I'm just kind of skimming through it. It's 3D. It's all 100% 3D in one art style. So it's not like blending between the games, but basically it's assuming that Pokemon is all, which it actually is all taking place on the same planet. I don't know. For those of you, it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
hard to grok because it's like we're in the Paldea region, Kanto region. People forget that these are just like one continent.
Well, they're
So-
also all like kind of representations of real
Yeah.
world
Yeah.
geography. Like
Paldea's
Kanto
supposed to be
is like
Spain.
Japan, and
Yeah.
things like that.
What did you say, Zach?
Paldea, I think, is supposed to be Spain.
Is
Yeah.
it? Ah.
Yeah.
It is.
So they're either countries or
And the X and
continents,
Y
but-
ones are France.
Oh, is an America one?
I don't think there is one yet for
It's
America.
probably for the
kidding me?
best. It's probably for the best. We're
Yeah.
shit. I'm just kidding. But
Well, they did
so basically-
Hawaii. They did
Bad.
Hawaii. That was
Oh wow, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Alolan.
Alola.
Alola.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. And so basically, this is an MMO, so it's a completely online Pokemon game. It's going to be really ease of play as far as building your Pokemon. There's not going to be any more EV training or anything like that. You're basically going to be able to map all of your shit. I looked further into it as far as the IVs. You can basically re-roll your IVs. So if you get IV spread that you don't like, you can basically just like pay in-game like money to just redo them randomly. So that's like the only aspect that's like got some chance to it, but you just keep doing it basically. EVs you can literally just pick up to your like maximum amount of EVs and just like move them, which is it's kind of awesome because it's basically assuming that you just want to play this for the sheer fun of playing Pokemon, and you can build any Pokemon at any time in any way, and you get to travel to every region in the same game. Like, so obviously it's not there yet. We have 3 games it's saying, the mod creator is saying, but it's gonna eventually have, I assume, all 9 gens in one game they're trying to get, and it'll probably be 2D all the way through. It said 3D, but I think it means like 3D pixel or 3D. I haven't seen any screenshots of this game yet. I'm so assuming it means 3D animation, but it's going to be a top down. If it's
Sure.
like Violet, I'm going to lose my shit. That would be incredible. It, like,
That'd
was
be
a
insane.
That'd be insane. But so for the most part, this is a free game that anyone can play. PokeOneCommunity.com. It's like a real domain and everything. It's been going for years actually, and it's just like hitting a peak now, and it's really starting to gain popularity. Actually, I'm seeing some screenshots here. It kind of looks like Black and White,
Okay.
which is really good. But anyway, so it's humongous. It's got a massive following and community, and it's free again. So if you want, go to Pokemon Community, and you can kind of check it out and play it right now. And you can play with your friends and random people and just play Pokemon as it was intended, like for the pure fun of playing all of it. So this is my current events because I think this is fucking awesome. This
That's
is
pretty
like,
insane.
That's pretty insane, and it kind of takes away the whole like, oh, Sword is better than Violet, and okay, Blue version's really the best. Okay, what about if they're just all in one game? All the best mechanics are risen to the top. All the shitty parts that we didn't like are removed. Like all the best trainers and fights and everything is there. I don't know about scaling levels because obviously by the time you get to like the end of the first region, you'd be at like level 100, you know, and then you're moving on to the next. So there might be a no cap level system. There could be a completely scaling level system. I wouldn't be surprised if there's no cap on the levels. That'd be kind of incredible. And then it just scales perfectly. Like everyone you fight has the exact same. Going off that, just real quick, there's also a Pokemon Kaizo that was created, and I watched a Nuzlocke play that recently. And that is basically, I think it was off of Ruby. It had 200 of the hardest trainers in all of Pokemon put into one game. And I can't remember exactly, but Pokemon Kaizo something, if I don't have the link for this one. And the enemies have unique stats, like moves are scaled in different ways. Like Thunderbolt does a lot more and is more more accuracy, less accuracy. status is different, certain moves are removed, enemies have hold items and
That's
stuff like
one
that.
thing
They're
I've noticed
intelligent.
about the newer games, like Arceus and Violet and fucking Scarlet, in general, or yeah, like those ones, is that the battles seem more consequential. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like even if you are over leveled in certain battles, you can still die to your weaknesses
Yeah.
a lot easier than in previous games.
No, I
Um,
agree. Yeah.
like I think they actually do a lot better with the damage scaling in these games than previous generations. Like it's less, I don't know, it's less like, I mean it's more
It's less
difficult.
concise.
It's
You can't.
like
I found in the
in a
older
sense.
games up
You just
until
have to be
Scott.
more conscious of what you're doing.
Yeah. Even until Sword and Shield, I was basically able to spam, like, let's just say, like, Thunderbolt. Once your first Pokemon learns a 100 power attack,
Yeah.
it's like game over. I'm just blasting through this shit.
Yeah.
In this, even not in competitive, like just in the main game, I found myself using more status moves, changing variation on my team more often,
Yeah.
swapping in and out. My Pokemon fainted a lot in this playthrough of
Yeah.
Violet. So, like, a lot. And like
Yeah,
against
I
trainers,
mean, I've
against
blacked out
randoms.
way more times than I have
Yep.
in recent memory.
I only
Oh, yeah.
blacked out once and I hated it. So I made sure
Yeah,
I
I
just
immediately
run
was
all
like,
the-
I don't want
Yeah.
this.
I think it was
I've-
against the random Pokemon too in the wild. And I was like, why?
I've only
no,
done
I
it
just
against
happening?
trainers that like
Yeah,
I
the old-
expect, because like I was saying earlier, I'll be in an area and I'll be able to body the Pokemon in the area, but then I fight a trainer and they're a couple levels higher than I am and they've got like 3 or 4 Pokemon, and I'm like, I might be able to knock out 1 or 2 of theirs, but then they just body the rest of my team and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, I think the healing system is gone a long way too. Like you're able to not necessarily heal in more ways, but I feel like it gives you more options for saving your Pokemon. But that being said, it's more difficult and maybe more intelligent AI. I'm
Yeah.
not entirely sure, or at least
Yeah.
just the placement of these Pokemon are to like maybe the game understands what Pokemon you're capable of catching in the beginning, and so the next area after the beginning is like Pokemon that counter you basically,
Yeah.
or like Pokemon that are maybe more powerful against you potentially.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, so Kaizo, I wouldn't necessarily recommend playing as much, but this Pokemon community thing is going to be really awesome.
Yeah.
In general, I like where Pokemon is going. I feel like I hope they don't destroy it by oversaturating it, but I feel like Violet and Arceus, and we're going to get more Pokemon Legends most likely. This is a really good step. As long as Nintendo fucking grabs those reins, and is like, all right, this is RIP now. Just do this.
Just
Like-
bitch slap Game
Yeah.
Freak out of the way and be
This
like,
is
no,
the
no,
biggest
we're doing
complaint
this
I
now.
hear is
I
people
think
are
they
like,
need to do that. I've
they
said that
need-
many
yeah.
times. they
everyone's
should.
like, every Nintendo game is so polished, and they're even sometimes not produced by mainline Nintendo studios. Like, for example, Retro Studios created Tropical Freeze,
Yep.
polished like a fucking diamond. You know what I mean? But Game Freak is the one company that Nintendo just can't get under its thumb. Like, they cannot rein it in fully.
They need
And
to.
I think that they need to. And we're at the precipice where the next game is going to fail. If we saw Violet kind of like hit the peak. People still love it, but we're
Yeah,
at the
I
point where
mean,
we're
I
like,
think it's the
we-
best-selling Pokemon ever, but
Is it?
also
Oh, wow.
it might be. But the thing is
Amazing.
you're absolutely right. Like people are pretty outraged about its performance. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
that's why I haven't played it as much as like say Arceus, which also performed like ass. But this one's even worse, So like yeah, and even if they do come out with a new Switch, it doesn't matter. Like if we know that Game Freak's always been behind the curve as far as like their ability to make quality games.
Yeah.
And so Nintendo really does need to step in and like allocate more resources or like send teams to help them or something.
Miyamoto needs to be in the room, like,
Let's
But,
move on
yeah,
from
it's that-
Pokemon.
Yeah. I know, as fun as it is to talk
Zach,
about.
do you have any current events?
Not this time.
No, neither do I really.
No.
I haven't been paying enough attention to
Oh.
the news.
Well, that was
Uh,
enough for all of us, I guess.
I do have sales data for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, though.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it is the fastest launch. They have
wow.
not come anywhere near Red and Blue yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's a time thing. I feel like also
Yeah.
we're talking 1998, so it was 25 years. Yeah,
They crossed
Versus 2
the
months.
10 million units sold within 3 days.
that's insane.
Yeah.
You think we're gonna get a what's red plus purple? You think we're gonna get like a pink version or some shit, or like a Malv, or like a third? We didn't for Sword.
I
We did
mean,
not for Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I guess you're right. There wasn't a
And
third
that was
one
like the
for.
first
But
time.
you know what they did do for Sword and Shield though is they did expansions, which is the first time they ever did expansions for.
Actually, X and Y, there was no Z version, although
Yeah,
we
there
all
was no Z.
predicted there. We all thought there was gonna be a Z version, and there wasn't.
Yeah, they did.
It was like a legendary Pokemon who was Zygarde or whatever, and he was like kind of like the representation of
Zygarde.
Z.
Yeah, well, because that's when they jumped to instead of doing Z, they did the Alola shit. They moved
That's
right into
right.
that because they were jumping consoles, right? No, I
Yeah.
guess it was. Guess
They
it
were doing
was
a lot of
still.
remakes at the time. Like right
Yeah.
after X and Y, they started remaking Black and White, Diamond and Pearl. They did Sun
Yeah.
and Moon. I
Yeah.
totally missed Sun and Moon. Like
I did
wouldn't
too.
feel like I didn't hear much about it honestly from people either. So I'm assuming
I
it was
played Sun and
okay.
Moon. They were pretty good.
Pretty
Maybe
good.
that's Sun and Moon was the Alola one, right?
That sounds right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
then Sword and Shield brought the
Yeah.
Alolan versions too.
Yeah.
I do love the variation
Yeah.
now. Also, I will say like you're seeing old Mons reinvented completely.
Sun and Moon
still
was Alola.
I still
Really?
stand on the best
Oh.
gen was Black and White 2, and I'm really hoping they remake those.
Aren't they? I thought that was confirmed.
I really hope so. I really hope they like.
Fact
I mean,
check.
they're if they do that gen, they'll probably do Black and White. But Black and White 2 were the better of those games.
Maybe I'm thinking
So,
of Diamond and Pearl. What other Pokemon
they
game
did.
is
They
getting
just
remade
did Diamond and Pearl.
for the Switch?
Yeah.
And I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Jing.
Yeah.
I
It came
remember
out last
that.
year.
That was glitchy as fuck.
Was it?
And it was like chibi. And, like,
Yeah, it was
didn't look-
chibi. Yeah.
It was chibi, and I was just like, you could have done
Yeah, I
Link's
skipped
Awakening
it.
and really made this, but
Yeah, they came out right before
skipped
Pokemon
it.
Arceus. Because there's a specific Pokemon that you can only get in Arceus if you have a Diamond and Pearl save. I think it's Darkrai.
Oh yeah, Darkrai. That's a good ass Pokemon.
Yeah.
Wow, we really need to stop talking about this.
Yeah, let's move on from Pokemon. Okay, anyway. So let's I mean, there might be some more Pokemon talk coming, but let's talk about the holidays.
Pokemon. Oh, I'm just kidding.
No. So let's start out the topic's gaming through the holidays, and let's just start out with talking about your favorite games that you've received as gifts for the holidays over the years. So for me, I'll go ahead and start. For me, it was Pokemon Red. Like that's definitely one of them, right? And I got that game actually one year. I had been asking for a Sega Nomad, and I really, really wanted one. And there was a package under the tree that looked like it was shaped like a box of like a Sega Nomad. And I was so stoked, but it ended up being like a Wallace and Gromit box set of
that is
but that's so good too, though.
It was cool. We enjoyed it, but I was really disappointed. But then, like after we opened that, it was like, oh, there's one more gift, kind of thing. And my mom brought out these gifts from my aunt, and there was one for me and one for Adam, and he got Pokemon Blue and I got Pokemon Red, and so that kind of made up for it. I was pretty stoked about that. Another holiday one that was really special for me and was pretty funny, and I've told this story before, but was my my Nintendo 64. My grandma had really wanted to get us she had wanted to get us game systems like every year for Christmas, but my parents wouldn't let her. And she really wanted to get us an N64, and they were like, no. And then some family friends of ours got us one. And like my grandma was in town when they gave it to us. And she was so pissed.
That is funny.
But it was really fun because we got to play, Super Mario 64 and some other cool games with my my cousins that were in town and stuff. So that was a blast. It was pretty cool. So for me, those are like the very like special holiday video game gifts that I got. Josh, what about you? Any cool holiday video game?
I will say for me, it's probably Luigi's Mansion, and this is because so the N64 I got for my birthday. I think the Game Boy before that I got for the birthday before that. And this was like the first console that was like a family console. It was supposed to be, at least. Like we had it in the family room hooked up. It wasn't in my room. You know, it was one of those things. Finally unwrapping. I really wanted it on launch day, but of course I was 10 years old at the time. So, you know, it wasn't one of those things I could go out and buy. So I waited till Christmas, not thinking I was even going to get it. And I get the GameCube, I get Pikmin and Luigi's Mansion, and Luigi's Mansion, just like incredible. I played that all of Christmas. It just has such nostalgic value to me as just like the turning point. That's when Nintendo, for me, kind of amped it. You know, the graphics finally different. These games held a lot more like detail and all that, just in different ways. And so this game just holds a lot of nostalgia for me in that regard. It's obviously not a Christmas game in the slightest. It's definitely more of a Halloween game. But yeah, that game really, just hits home.
I mean, neither of the games I mentioned were Christmas games.
That's true. Oh, red and green.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch, Josh.
But yeah, Luigi's Mansion. I'm trying to think of anything else. I feel like that's like the game I really like to play around the holidays is Ocarina of Time, and I didn't this year though. That's a game that we'll usually
get to
play
that.
on my.
Yeah, that's a next part of
that.
Yeah. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion has a special place. Definitely, yeah.
What about you, Zach? What are your favorite games or game that you got for like as a holiday gift?
In general, any games that I got around a holiday are either games that I asked for directly or bought for myself. Because coming from a non-gaming family and my wife's family having absolutely no idea one way or the other about games, that's the only way I could obtain games as a kid or even now. So I have to go instead with my cousin giving me the old DMG Game Boy. It wasn't strictly a Christmas present, but he knew it was broken, and he knew the best chance of that surviving just otherwise being thrown out was to give it to me. And it took so many years. I mean, 20 years, more than 20 years before I actually got it fixed. But now it is my primary handheld game. Like if I'm waiting in the waiting for my car's tires to get changed over or something like oil change or something like that, I bring the DMG Game Boy with me.
Nice.
Because
awesome.
it's my thing. It's my favorite handheld, bar none. And it was sort of a pseudo Christmas gift.
Nice.
Because he knew that it would get thrown out otherwise. So it's kind of feels like I rescued that thing.
That's awesome. All right. Going back to where Josh was heading with the topic a second ago. What are your favorite games to play around the holidays with your family or by like, do you have a tradition that you always play this game? So on and so forth. Josh, since you were kind of jumping into it, why don't we start with you?
We haven't talked about Zelda at all, so
no.
Ocarina
it wouldn't be this as difficult if we didn't talk about Zelda at least 5 times.
Yeah. So Ocarina of Time is a game. Obviously, it's my favorite game. Obviously, because I'm saying it right now. This is a game that I first saw at a kid's birthday party, and I was like very unknowledgeable about gaming. I had a Game Boy at the time. I didn't have an N64 yet, and I didn't get one until I did have an N64. I just hadn't played Zelda yet. That's what it was.
You had a Game Boy though, and you didn't play Link's Awakening?
No, I didn't play Link's Awakening until like 2000 or something.
Josh is a horrible person.
Shame on you.
I'm a piece of shit.
Go ahead.
And so first seeing this game, I was like, this just looks incredible. This is just like the most detail, the best fucking graphics still to this day.
Honestly, when it came out, it looked so rad. I was so impressed.
I hate to admit that I don't hate to admit. I still think this game looks incredible. But this is a game.
I highly disagree. I think that the graphics in that game held up the worst out of pretty much any Zelda game.
Okay. Well, and then Link's Awakening original.
Dude, are you kidding me? It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I love
the original.
I love the style of Link, the original Link's Awakening.
I guess so.
It looks so good.
Red. It's the same kind of good look. But okay. Fair. I don't think any of these games look bad. Personally, actually, I think the game that Sorry, I was gonna say the Zelda game that holds up the least is Twilight Princess in my mind.
There's a fair argument for that.
Yeah,
it's a fair argument, but it's not necessarily a true argument. But it's my
because I mean this was almost kind of our topic is that ultra realistic look
Oh yeah.
Like is kind of what they were going for that. I mean, I would say as far as Zelda to that point, that was the most realistic looking one.
Yeah. At the
And
time, I was like, "Oh my
yeah,
god, Twilight
and
Princess looks amazing."
so yeah, and
But
and we've talked about that actually a lot on this podcast, that like that ultra realism doesn't hold up very well.
yeah.
Right.
And then Nintendo learned that a lot. I kind of wish they would do that with Pokemon. Now that I'm thinking about it off the cuff, like stylize it and make it like more stylized.
Give it
Like,
its
Yeah.
own
Oh
identity.
yeah,
yeah,
for
give it its own
sure.
identity.
Dude, you
Ooh.
remember the freaking art from the original Pokemon
Oh
manuals?
yeah. Oh
Boy,
dude,
give me
Pokemon
that, son.
incredible. Can you imagine? Oh my god, like these like painted Pokemon and like
How
beautiful
beautiful
like
would that be? Yeah.
murals
I'm
of
just sitting
Pokemon.
here looking at the red version
Yeah, like
cartridge
if
and
Charizard like
God,
looks like that, but he was animated, like
Yeah.
almost like Cuphead, where it's like hand drawn like Pokemon, and they're just like
okay,
literally
all right, all right. Here's our
Cartoon
official call
Pokemon?
right now. No, Josh, shut up for a second. Cuphead designers on Pokemon.
Yes.
Let's get it. Let's
Cuphead
make
gets, like,
that happen.
rubber hose
Mm,
like
no, I don't
blasters.
want rubber hose Pokemon.
No,
Fuck
no, no,
that.
no. But the
Maybe not
the
rubber
same
hose.
like artists, like you
The same-
can have artists operate in different parameters.
Actually, I think that
Sure,
would be a
sure.
way to like really jettison Pokemon into the future and like maintain its integrity. Is if it was literally, I can't believe they haven't done that. The cartoon, but the game. Wait, why is it so separate?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of like a crazy realization they maybe never had, or maybe they did and they were like, "Nah, we want to make it look like a game." Damn, that'd be sexy. Okay,
Yeah,
where was I
that'd be
going? So Ocarina of Time. It's one of
Yes.
those games, my favorite game for a really long time. And it's one of those games that when I was in school, you only have so much time off aside from the summer. In the summer, you're hanging out with your friends and outside, and you're not many
Yeah.
games drop, or if they do, you're like playing the new games in the summer or whatever. So Christmas, you get your new games and whatnot, but you have like what 2 weeks off sometimes. I would always play
Week and a
Ocarina of
half.
Time, a week and a half. I can't remember. I barely went to school. But that's not even true. Ocarina of Time was one of the games I like to play through in my time off. And Christmas, of course, having like a week or so off was a great opportunity to play through it. Just like one of those very relaxing, Paper Mario to an extent also, but really Ocarina of Time, just like a very relaxing playthrough that you can just do when you have so much time. And that really reminds me of just like that nostalgic holiday vibe and feel, where you're just a lot of games do now that I'm thinking more about it, but this one, it's just like something leisurely nostalgic about this game. Now I can beat it with my eyes closed, and I play it not only on the holidays, and I don't have holidays off anymore, clearly, but it definitely like holds true as one of those games. If you were like, you get a week off for Christmas, pick one game. I just pick Ocarina of Time in a heartbeat. Just feels like something I could just like,
Yeah.
glass of hot chocolate and put your
Yeah.
feet up and oh man, it's snowing outside and just
Oh,
like
yeah.
bundle up and play Ocarina of Time. So
Mhm.
maybe not everyone feels that way, but for me, it just hits. And I clearly not explaining it well, but
No, yeah,
just,
like
yeah.
I can relate. Like Mario 64 is like that for me.
Ah.
And actually, I think we got Ocarina of Time around the holidays too. So, so
it
yeah,
was a
like,
strange mid-year release, actually. So that it was like for people to play it on the holidays meant they like really waited to play this game.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to remember when we got it. Maybe we got it when it came out.
next
I
fact
don't
checking. It might
really
have been an
remember.
October release.
But
November, Josh.
It was
Okay,
November.
yeah.
Damn.
It was
Well,
November
so
I
21st,
obviously-
right before Christmas.
I did not get that game in 1998. I'm almost certain, like, because that was the game I like saw a kid playing at his birthday party, and I was like, "This is a game. Zelda's a thing. This is nuts."
So
Shortly after, I played Link's Awakening too.
to your credit, you might be thinking of Majora. That came out on April 27th.
Yeah, Majora was like so random, like
Yeah.
mid-year 2000 release, not even a full 2 years after Ocarina of Time comes out. I'm like, whoa, this is so random. Never have we
Yeah.
seen like a mainline franchise just shoot out. Majora's Mask was the first game I got on launch day in my entire life, and since then I've been getting games I prioritize on launch day, and I feel like that kind of like started it for me. Like really felt special. Majora's Mask, but anyway, who's talking?
what about you, Zach? What's a game you
Holidays
like
for
to
me,
play
like
during the holidays with family or?
again, not having a gamer family. In fact, I think I'm the only gamer in the family. My brother tries sometimes, but he just doesn't care enough. So for me, it's like NHL 94.
That's fun.
Because that's one I can bust out, and like people will actually, at the very least, they'll heckle me as I play it.
Simulator versus Irreverence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and then if I'm just hanging out by myself, Mega Man 2 or Mega Man X1 or 02, just one that I know like the back of my hand, can crash through it real fast. This particular year, because I was in the middle of it, I had Mega Man 7, but like in general, yeah, if I were to pick one, it'd be Mega Man 2.
Yeah, for me, like in the past, like back in the day with my family, it would be like Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey 98. We played a lot of that, especially during the holidays because everyone's around. Mario Party,
Yep.
Super Mario 64, because like I said, we got that for Christmas that year, and that like Josh was saying, like it just has that nostalgia holiday feel. These days, I personally don't get to play a lot of video games during the holidays. But
there's so much traveling and stuff that we have. Like we're grown-ups, we have to do.
We're
things.
adults. Yeah. We work.
Generally, I'll end up at my brother's house at some point or another, and he usually plays through one of two, if not both, games on the Super Nintendo, which are Super Mario World and Hook. Which, and I usually just watch him play through those games, and like both of those games are super nostalgic for me. Yeah, he's really good at both of those games.
Yeah, he is. He's very good at both.
I've never seen anyone else beat Hook. He's the only person I've ever seen beat that game. That game's pretty hard. It's awesome though.
All of those Disney games are very hard.
That's not
Aladdin, like, is not.
Oh. No, it's made by the same people that made Soul Blazer. I think it is owned by Disney.
Wait, is Peter Pan not Disney? Whoa,
it's Sony.
It's Sony.
Hook is Sony. Peter Pan is Disney.
Well, then it's kind of
like the story Peter. Hold on, the story Peter Pan. I think at this point
that's Sam Bernie. That's like that's just a classic,
right? And I think it's public domain at this point.
I'm checking that right now.
And so
did you know
like
that
that's
the name
why
Wendy was invented in that.
Really?
Yeah, Peter Pan. You can fact check me out, but I'm almost positive the name Wendy was invented in the book Peter Pan. I'm not even fucking kidding. Like I feel like it could be a Snapple Cat thing, but.
Peter Pan has been in the public domain. Oh, sorry, it's not in the public domain in England or the U.S.
Oh, really?
What domain is it in there?
Private.
Who owns this shit?
Who owns it? Yeah, that's interesting.
But so it's complicated. The character is not in the public domain. The book is.
Oh, okay. So that's why people are able to.
That's why people are able to adapt it.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Which is why Hook is called Hook and not Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know what? They never really refer to him as Peter Pan. They always call him Peter or the Pan.
And
his name is,
they do.
His name is Peter Banning. Do they?
Bring me Peter Pan.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Bring me Peter. Robin Williams, right?
Yeah. Well, dude, I just watched that. I just watched that movie again the other day. Oh, god damn, it's so good.
So good.
I love that movie.
It's so good. And the music in the game is incredible, by the way. The music in the movie is incredible too, but like the game adaptation is insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anywho, we're at like an hour and 10 minutes, boys.
Whoops.
We are.
Yeah. So that
I don't know what else we have to say.
I don't know that there's much else to say. Gaming during the holidays is fun. Sometimes it's difficult. But I mean, some of my favorite memories and favorite games came from those times.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on for hours about games that we've either received or played around the holidays. I mean, it's just it's especially living where Josh and I do in the Northeast. There's snow everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
Like half the time in the winter, we're stuck inside anyway.
Constantly locked. Like pick a game. Yeah.
Yeah. Pick a game, flop down on the couch, get up when the baby screams. In my case, that's about it.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten snow like once. Actually, it's kind of fun.
Really. We've got a couple times here.
It's been
maybe
anyway.
You gotten a lot, Zach?
No. Are you kidding me?
It's like global warming is fucking real. Hello.
Dude, are you kidding me? We had negative 40 degrees here in the freaking Midwest. Like
that makes no sense.
Yeah,
climate change.
It was 60 on Saturday. It was 60 degrees on Saturday.
It's been warmer. It's been warmer these last couple weeks, but we had like one big snow and ice storm and like a couple other minor snows. It snowed yesterday.
So that big ice storm made its way up here. Lasted for a couple of days and then was gone.
Oh, it smashed us pretty
Oh
hard.
yeah, it was like 10 degrees for a few days. I forgot
Yeah.
about that, but
Dude.
we didn't get any snow.
So it
but
got down to
I
I
didn't,
think
at least.
I think the actual temperature was like -8, but the wind chills were -40 here.
That's fucked.
Yeah, it
yeah,
didn't get
like
nearly that
like a
cold
week
here.
No.
before Christmas, I want to say. Yeah, because I went to a Hanukkah party at a friend's house, and it was like that was like the night that it was like brutal, and we were driving like freaking 10 miles an hour the entire way there, and it was just like icy as hell and so freaking cold.
Damn.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world, Paul.
It was
nuts.
yeah, it was cool.
Considering we're by the ocean, I feel like we would be much colder. I don't know how anything works anymore.
Well, you guys have the
it's
Gulf Stream
complicated.
coming up.
Oh, is that what it is?
direction.
Yeah,
That hot?
that is
Uh,
that is the simplest terms to explanation of it. Yes.
But I need those terms.
Yeah. It's one of those things that we learn in New Hampshire, in rural New Hampshire, kind of like the back of our hands, but it's not ever taught to us. We just
It's also
like,
why
oh,
you
we
guys
just
get
kind of intrinsically
hurricanes.
understand
It's
this.
because you have the
Ah,
Gulf
because
Stream.
the warm.
we get like
Okay.
remainder hurricanes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like they start all
Well,
down
I
south
mean,
and
New
they make their
York
way up
got
north.
hammered a couple years ago by
Yeah.
a massive one.
Go check out the Another
happens.
Letdown YouTube channel. We shot an entire comedy sketch during a hurricane
Oh
once.
damn, that's nuts.
We were our cameras entirely operating off of backup batteries. And we were
Yeah.
out there pretending to get electrocuted.
That's wild.
That's funny.
Anyway, let's wrap it up, boys. If you're watching this live, you're on my Twitch channel. I haven't been streaming as much lately, but I still do stream, usually on Tuesday nights. I'm done, I think, with Pokemon streaming, but that means that I'm going to start streaming God of War. So that'll be cool. And
That'll be
It is fun.
yeah, Zach has been streaming God of War, which is dope.
What are your thoughts so far? Curious.
Let's save that for next week.
Okay, well, we can do that.
All right.
Yeah. Give us something to look forward to.
And
Let
then
me just say I referred to it last night as Slog of Boy.
Oh no, I know. I remember we talked about this. Yeah, when I was having my audio issues. I remember you.
Yeah, it's better since then, but I'll elaborate next week.
I've heard a lot about those parts of the game. That's like everyone's big complaint. Oh, excuse me. Anyway,
Every game has an Emmy sequence, you know.
sure. Let's see. And then Saturdays I do samurai games. I have been streaming Pokemon Conquest, which, like I said, it takes place during the Sengoku period or the Warring States period in Japan. So you got like Nobunaga and Tokugawa Ieyasu and stuff like that are characters in the game. It's very cool. It's a strategy RPG. I probably am done with that soon too, and I'll be moving on. RPD got me a game called I forget what it's called.
Sounds amazing.
It's called Oedo Towns. So
Yes.
Oedo Towns.
like OH
Oh.
exclamation point Edo Towns. And it's from the same people who did that Ninja Village game that I played that I didn't think I would like, but I had a freaking blast playing. So yeah, we'll probably play that. That'll be some fun. And then, dude, there's some cool ass samurai games coming out this year. So
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
so I'm very excited about that. We'll have some cool shit for Samurai
We
Saturday.
have a lot of good games coming out this
Yeah.
year, so it's gonna
Yeah.
be a good year.
And then if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, share. I will get these posted eventually. I swear to God. I know I'm a little behind. I've just been busy. And then if you
I'm
want to
gonna
yell
start
at
pestering
me,
you like every day.
okay. If you actually, if you do that, I'll get them posted. If you want to yell at me on Twitter, it's at Ryugami-sama. I've actually been pretty active on Twitter lately. So just been having fun talking to people about video games. So yeah, hit me up there
same.
if you want. Yeah, Josh, where can we find you?
Yes, find me at Lord Yeshua and Lord Yeshua TTV on all my bullshit. And I haven't really streamed in a while. I'm not gonna lie. Me and Colin have been doing a lot of off-stream mods, but I don't even know. Like probably gonna stream again. I definitely want to keep running Donkey Kong. It's been like a really on and off with my speed running, but I'm gonna try and shoot for more records in that, and I'm gonna be trying to shoot for world records on the Donkey Kong lands, which is going to be a big one that I'm going to be brushing up on. So I expect to see some Game Boy streaming. That'll be really fun. Yeah. Aside from that, yeah, it's gonna be fucking sick.
Zach,
That's cool.
speaking of mods, I saw on that modding website that you use, there's a mod for the Game Boy Color that has an HDMI out.
What?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
needed if you're a streamer. Wait,
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. I know how to do that one.
Dude, I might scoop that up and send it to you.
Yeah.
I
Well,
might-
all
I
you
might
do
do
is
that.
you send me the Game Boy. I'll take care of the rest.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And for me, I'm on Twitch at Another Letdown. All those VODs are cross-posted to youtube.com/Another Letdown CF. I stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and every other Monday. The Mondays are Mass Effect Monday. We play Mass Effect games, at least for the moment. The Wednesdays and Fridays are God of War currently, and Saturday we do miniatures painting. I do it with Paul's brother Adam and our friend Mike. And it's a lot of fun. After I'm not sure what's going to come after God of War, but we're going to be back to the superhero games by the end of the year.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's it. Everyone, thank you for hanging out. Have an awesome night. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Goodbye.